Attention buyers, these are the things you need to know before attending an open house. And if you're preparing to attend an open house and want to know what to expect, in this video, we will cover the essential tips and insider knowledge that every buyer needs to know before attending an open house. From understanding not just the seller's mindset, but also how to navigate the agent who's hosting the open house, and also ways in which you can identify red flags with regards to the specific property. So if you are ready to dive in and find your dream home, make sure to watch until the very end, because I'm also going to give you a few etiquette tips that will help you get your offer accepted should you decide that that property is for you. I'm Shamika Fox, your Santa Cruz real estate expert. Thank you for tuning in. If you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe button. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2025, and we are almost there. Okay, do you remember the new rules with regards to the $418 million settlement with NAR, or the National Association of Realtors, that happened August 17th, 2024? If you don't, you can watch my video that's on it. I will link it in the description below. But if you do, one of the changes with regards to the new NAR settlement is that buyers have to sign in at open houses. And it's not just signing in, it's an open house form. And the open house form is outlining the agent who is hosting the open house's agency agreement. If it's the listing agent, their agency agreement with the seller, and the buyer who's signing in is also naming their realtor. This should happen first and foremost when you enter the open house, so that everybody is clear who is representing who, and the agent who's hosting will be able to then discuss the details of the property. Otherwise, there's a bit of a gray line because of our fiduciary duty to the seller as listing agents, what we can and cannot discuss with somebody who has not disclosed agency together with the agent who's hosting the open house. So if you remember that settlement, please be prepared and expect to have to sign in at open houses. I know a lot of buyers go to open houses and they don't want to talk to the agent who's hosting, and they do not want to sign any documents, but this is actually a new rule and it has gone into effect as of last August. And just be prepared to have to sign in at the open houses. Nobody's going to bite you. It's going to be okay. But this is something that's now implemented in our new rules with regards to agency and transparency in the form of real estate. So before you go to an open house, I know that home searching can be very overwhelming. And if you work with me, I'll actually print you out a booklet so that you can take explicit notes on open houses that you tour on your own, as well as properties that we tour together. That way you can have the property address at the top. You can check off your likes and dislikes. We can talk about school districts. You can take notes on proximity to conveniences like supermarkets, restaurants, freeways, beaches, etc., things like that. So make sure that you have a booklet or some document, whether it's your phone or actually handwritten notepad, to be able to take notes so that you can remember what you've seen. Because I don't know about you, but after I've seen 10 houses, they kind of all start to blend together, and this is my profession. So you may remember which one you loved, but then you're starting to think, did the one that I love have that horrible kitchen, or did the one that I love actually have the kitchen that I loved, or did I love it because of the location? So taking good notes and asking poignant questions when you're visiting open houses is very prudent in making your open house visit successful for you. Another question that I think is really important to ask when you're at the open house is, have the sellers prepared a disclosure package? Is there a home inspection that's available? Is there a pest inspection that's available? Have the sellers gone through the necessary steps to make sure that the disclosure package is complete and ready? And if it is, and if you already have a realtor that you're working with, your realtor will be able to access that information either by calling the listing agent or going onto the MLS and downloading it for you. But if you're not working with a realtor, it is appropriate to request from the agent that is hosting the open house that they send you the disclosure package. Now remember, if an agent who is hosting an open house is not the listing agent for that specific property, they are there to generate new business. So if you connect with them, that is a really good way to choose a realtor to work with in your home buying process. But while they're there, if you don't already have a realtor, you can ask if they can send you the disclosure package, and you can even ask them to go over it with you so that you can understand what some of the nuances are about the property. But while you're walking around, pay attention to things like, do doors close on their own, or do they close flush in their frame? If they don't, that could be an indicator that there might be some settling or foundation issues. Are there cracks in the wall? This can also indicate potential settling or foundation issues. Are there stains on the ceiling? This can indicate that the roof had a past or current leak. Is there deferred maintenance, so much so that you're the type of person that you don't want to have a huge remodel project? All these things are little nuances that as you're walking through the property, you should be paying attention to. Also, listen while you're in the house. Can you hear the road? Does that bother you or don't you mind? Are there barking dogs in the neighborhood? Does that bother you or don't you mind? These are things that you want to pay attention to, because if you buy this home and you live in this home, you're either going to love those features or you're going to hate those features, or you're going to have to learn to love them because you just bought this home. So the little nuances are important while you're looking at properties. Pay attention also to interest level. How many people are attending the open house so that you can be prepared to submit if you like this home or this property. You can be prepared to submit an offer that's going to be compelling. Are you the only buyer that's come through that day or while you were there? Or is the house hustling and bustling and there's many other buyers that seem very interested in purchasing the property? Then you might have to be a bit more aggressive with your approach and strategy to getting your offer accepted. So these are just little nuances. Again, they're not the end all be all. Hopefully, if you have a great realtor, you have already been coached on how to handle yourself at an open house. But just to recap, when you enter, you're going to be expected to sign an open house document that states either you are not represented or you have an agent, but that allows for agency disclosure so that the agent hosting is able to discuss the property with you. Make sure you pay attention to noises, road noises, traffic noises, babies crying, animals, things like that that could potentially affect your desire to purchase the property. Make sure you pay attention to red flags such as moisture on the walls, on the ceiling, stains, deferred maintenance, is the deck falling in, things like that. Those kind of things will give you a really good sense of whether or not you want to proceed or pursue that property. And then again, you can ask the agent who's hosting, what are we close to with amenities? Are we close to shopping, dining, schools, etc.? And are the disclosures available? Has the seller already prepared a home inspection, a pest inspection, etc.? Those are very standard questions. I get asked this a lot when I'm hosting open houses, and sometimes it's an easy answer, but also sometimes sellers are private. But a lot of times buyers want to know, why is this seller selling? So a very eloquent way that you can ask that question so that we can avoid an awkward conversation with regards to maybe death or divorce or something of that nature. But where are the sellers going so that you can get a better understanding of why they're leaving and what they've loved about the area and what they're trading it for, right? Like I've had a lot of people leave Santa Cruz to move to other areas in the US and even outside of the US. So why are my sellers selling? They want to relocate or they have to relocate for a job. So that is a question that you can ask. If you're getting value out of this video, please hit that like and subscribe button. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2025. And I really appreciate all the support you guys have all been giving me. As promised, the bonus round for the end of this how to visit an open house and how to be prepared to visit an open house as a home buyer, I want to talk about etiquette because I've seen this so many times and honestly, it's just a little bit off-putting in a sense, which you do not want to have that interaction, an awkward interaction with the listing agent, especially if you like the property and you intend to purchase the property. But some home buyer etiquette at an open house. First of all, do not use the bathroom. I know that I let people use the bathroom when they ask because I feel bad that they need to go, and I completely understand. But in all honesty, using somebody's bathroom is a bit of a liability. What if you clog it and the toilet overflows and now we have water intrusion issues that we have to deal with? What if you think you have to go number one and you end up having to go number two, and now the whole house for the rest of the open house smells like you're number two? That's embarrassing, and it also might be off-putting to some buyers. I guess if you want the home and you want to scare some buyers away, just sneak it in there and we'll see what happens. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that. But really try to make sure that you have prepared and that you can go to the bathroom either at your house or at a restaurant or something like that, because there are liabilities with regards to using somebody else's restroom. The other thing with regards to etiquette at an open house is do unto others, right? Don't start talking badly about the house. Don't say all the negative things that you don't like or you dislike about the property. Don't start criticizing the property because people get defensive. And even if you're just trying to preemptively negotiate or assert your aesthetic opinion, it's off-putting and people get defensive. And if you end up wanting to write an offer and the listing agent overheard you talking about the property in all these negative ways, they're going to be reluctant to work with you because they want somebody who loves the property, because that means they're going to be committed to the purchase of the property. So just be careful with what you say. Now, if you're going on a private tour with your own realtor and nobody else is there and no cameras are at the property and you want to discuss candidly how you feel about the property, including your dislikes, that's a different story. But when you're at an open house, keep the negative feedback to yourself or write it on your notepad. Remember, I said bring a notepad so you can take notes, or write it on your notepad. Another etiquette to consider when visiting an open house is don't bring your pets with you. The owner might be allergic to pets. Somebody at the open house might be scared of dogs or animals. Don't bring your pets with you. Leave your pets at home. It's not appropriate to bring your pets to other people's houses. And that goes for children. You can bring your children with you, but make sure you watch your children. I cannot tell you the number of times that I've been hosting an open house and the parents leave their children to roam on their own with no adult supervision. So I end up watching them because they are terrorizing the plants or jumping on the bed or climbing the fence or the railing. I've had a kid climb a railing at a property on a high balcony porch. First of all, I was scared for the kid because he could have gotten hurt, and that's liability on me and on the seller. But second of all, he broke the railing, and now I have to deal with fixing the railing, and the sellers have to deal with paying to have somebody fix the railing, and the buyers or the parents of this child who is going unsupervised have to deal with paying to fix the railing. So please make sure you watch your children. This is not a playground. It's not a time to free range and free roam. We know it's exciting and kids love going to houses that are not theirs because there's so much to explore, but just please make sure you watch your kids. That's really, really important. The other thing is be polite to the agent who's hosting. I know that real estate agents get a bad rap. We're not all the same. Look, I spend a lot of my time trying to educate my clients and the world actually so that you can make sound decisions in a real estate transaction. I spend a lot of time counseling people who don't even end up purchasing or selling with me because it is important for me to be able to share with you what I know with regards to the industry so that you can make a sound decision. So we're not all the same, okay? We're not all sleazy used car salesmen, which I know a lot of people think that of us. So please be polite, but please be polite, because if you are rude and you decide you want to pursue that property and the listing agent was the one who was hosting the open house and you were rude to the listing agent, I can guarantee if there are other options as far as other offers go on the table, the listing agent is going to share with the seller that you were not polite and you did not respect the space, and that she or he would suggest accepting another offer if it is as good or better. So be polite, be gracious. Remember that you're going to potentially be negotiating with this person and you want them to like you. You want them to want to work with you. If they like you and they want to work with you, it will make your job and your life a lot easier. So be polite, be gracious, be kind. And hopefully they'll be kind in return because you get what you give. And lastly, do not preemptively negotiate. Open houses, I know I've experienced this many times. Buyers come up, they pull me into the back room. I love this house. What do I have to do to get it? They have a realtor. Now I'm talking to the buyer about what they have to do to get it. It's not appropriate. And also, the host of the open house needs to be accessible to all the other guests who are there. They can't be pulled into the back to negotiate a deal. If you are interested and you don't have a realtor, make sure you get the realtor's phone number who's hosting the open house. Give them your contact information and ask them to call you when they leave. If you do have a realtor, please tell the realtor who's hosting the open house what your realtor's name is. Provide their contact information so that that realtor can connect and you guys can start a negotiation that way. But do not preemptively negotiate during an open house. The other thing about negotiating at an open house is if another buyer who's there is also interested, here's the terms that you're sharing with the agent while you were there. That can compromise your strength in the negotiation process, because now if they heard you say we have $1.5 million to spend and they could go up to 1.550, they know what you're spending and they know they can beat you. So it's just not a good tactic to get your offer accepted. You can express your like of the property and your desire to pursue the property and make sure that you share contact information so that everybody is taken care of, but do not negotiate a deal at a property during an open house. Okay, that's my spiel to all you home buyers who are out there looking at open houses so that you can find your dream home. Make sure that it's efficient, make sure that it's effective, make sure that it is a good use of your time, and make sure that you apply the etiquette that I discussed here in this video on how to appropriately attend an open house. If you found value in this video, please hit that like and subscribe button. We are producing new content weekly on real estate transactions, and little tips and tidbits about the Santa Cruz area. If you're looking to purchase or sell in the Santa Cruz area, please hit me up. I'd love to discuss your real estate goals. And if you're looking to purchase or sell outside of the Santa Cruz area, fill out the form below and I will connect you with another exceptional realtor. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Shamika Fox, your Santa Cruz real estate expert. And until next time, make it a great day.